What's up, guys? I'm randomfrankp, back with episode 122 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off the best gaming setups to give you guys some ideas and inspirations for your own setup. And this week, our special guest is going to be Optimum Tech, showing his setup yet again for this 2018 version. If you see anything you like in this episode, I will have everything listed in the description down below, so you can check it out. But let's start off episode 122. First up, we are starting off strong with Jules, and this is just 100% my aesthetic. I love everything about this. This is good stuff. This is good stuff right here. All right, let's check it out. So Jules is rocking this gorgeous kitchen countertop that is really nice looking. The natural wooden finish looks fantastic. That main monitor is a 24-inch Samsung, complemented on the left side by a 24-inch Acer one, but the Samsung is the main display here. I love the choice of desk lamp as well, and you know I'm a big fan of the little succulent thing you got going on. Big ups for that. And yes, it is possible that we are the same person. Now into the peripherals, we have an original Razer Black Widow non-RGB paired with the SteelSeries Rival 300 mouse on a nice extended mouse pad. Those desktop speakers are the Bose Companion 3 Series 2, and the headset underneath the desk mounted is the HyperX Cloud. This is the original series. Definitely one of the best bang for buck headsets out there. And now for the PC, we have a Fantex P400S tempered glass case. This is the black and white variant. Inside is an Intel i7 8700K CPU with a Corsair H100i AIO with 16 gigs of Crucial Ballistic Sport RAM on an MSI Z370 PC Pro motherboard, and for the GPU an MSI GTX 970. And yes, a little pop figure as well. So now that all the technical stuff is out of the way, now we can just admire this space overall. It's kind of like an office space, and with a slight L-shaped desk going on here off to the left side, nice and open area, secondary workspace. But I love the aesthetic here. You know, this is 100% me. If I could transform into a setup, it would be this, and I just love everything about it. It's clean and organized. I love the natural look. Got some plants going on in there. This is just everything I love. So, marry me. And then is my aesthetic part 2 with this one. Really liking the brick backdrop he has going on. Of course, I'm a fan of the stacked monitors. There's a really nice warm feel to this, and that chair, the Herman Miller Aeron, all bringing together a pretty dope looking setup. So checking out those displays, his main monitor is an Asus PG34-8Q. It's that nice 34-inch ultra-wide, and up top he says he has a random 24-inch Samsung display. Not too sure about that, but hey, it all works, and they're both mounted nicely to get that stacked orientation. And you know he's got a light strip behind the monitors for that accent backlighting. Then checking out his peripherals, got some great stuff here at that Plank keyboard. It has cherry speed switches, which are pretty much silver, going along with his Logitech G403 wireless mouse and a nice wide extended mouse pad here. And I definitely like that walnut wrist rest for the keyboard. And as for audio, he's got some options, going with the Massdrop and Fostex THX100 headphones there, with the SteelSeries Arctis 7 wireless headset, so pretty good stuff. And going even further, you know he's a keyboard enthusiast, has a little collection going on. Got the Filco MJ2 with custom keycaps, and a KB Paradise V60 with those rainbow keycaps on that too. And as for the PC, over on the right side of his desk, inside the NZXT H400i with custom gold painting is an Intel i7 7700K CPU with the NZXT Kraken X42 AIO to keep it cool, 16 gigs of Corsair LPX RAM on an MSI Z270i Gaming Pro Carbon motherboard with a Gigabyte WindForce GTX 980 Ti graphics card. But I do like this custom black and gold build he's got going on here, definitely unique. Claptrap seems to be enjoying it too. So we are starting off this episode strong with two really nice back-to-back setups that are right up my alley. That's always a suspect phrase. Now we've got Bent Lamp, and yes, that is his user-submitted name, but this one's going for that definite RGB effect, and has a real neon going on, very fluorescent. The primary display is an LG 29UM69G, so a 29-inch ultra-wide, with a 23-inch Samsung monitor on the left side mounted in the portrait display mode. This orientation is becoming a lot more common, and to get this mount, he has the Arctic Z1 basic monitor arm here. As for his peripherals, he has the Corsair Gaming K70 Lux RGB keyboard with brown switches, going along with the Corsair M65 Pro RGB mouse on the nice Corsair MM300 extended mouse pad here, completing the trifecta. And he does have an Xbox One controller off to the side for some games that might need that peripheral. And for his speaker setup, while not pictured, it's the Logitech Z333 speakers. Then also for audio, going for his headphones, got the Audio-Technica M50Xs here with a custom skin on it, probably from D-Brand. For the PC, we have the Fantex Eclipse P400S tempered glass case again. Inside is an Intel i5 7500 CPU with a CryoRig H7 air cooler, 8 gigs of HyperX Fury RAM on an ASRock B250 Pro 4 motherboard, and an Asus GTX 1060 graphics card. You can see he went for the nice white and black build on the interior, which I think fits in great, because when you have a very colorful RGB setup, having the neutral white PC is going to help complement that. Helps tone things down. So Mr. Bent Lamp, good job on the gaming setup here. Going for a primarily black and white setup and some extra color RGB in the peripherals and the light strips to give it that extra color pop, but altogether, pretty damn good. And then we've got Kai, and I know you probably recognize this. We showed him off a few months back, and you can't forget this setup. If you do, you got some problems, because this is absolutely crazy. Let's check out some of the changes. First up, his primary monitor is an Alienware AW3418DW. It's 3440 by 1440p, but the big thing here is that 120 Hz refresh rate. Then on each side in portrait mode, he has two 23-inch Dell monitors. And you can't ignore the RGB lighting he has behind the monitors and behind his desk to give everything this crazy glow, and it matches to his kind of green and white color scheme. As for his peripherals, he has the Corsair Gaming Strafe RGB keyboard, now with some added white keycaps here. And his mouse is the new wireless Corsair Dark Core RGB, sitting on an extended mouse pad. You can also see he's got like an Xbox One controller there for some racing games or something like that. Pretty good stuff. Now over to the PC, inside the Fantex P400 tempered glass case, of course in white. Inside is an Intel i7 7700K CPU with the NZXT Kraken X62 cooler, 16 gigs of G-Skill Trident Z RGB RAM on an MSI M5 gaming motherboard, and an EVGA 1080 Ti FTW3 hybrid GPU, which is going to go along with some LED fans to make it all pop. This is just hands down a killer gaming setup. I love the use here of the Carlby desktop with the Alex drawers. It's a common look by now, but you definitely kill it here, man. Great to have you on the second time, and just love this every time I see it.
A tasteful desk setup is not just a powerful gaming PC and then as many RGB peripherals as you can find. It's about consistency, productivity, and comfort. Hey guys, Ali from Optimum Tech here, and today I'm going to show you what I'm working with for 2018, and a huge thanks to randomfrankp for having me on the show. In terms of design, I'm trying to strike that fine balance between a clean, minimal looking setup and one where I have all the hardware that I need right in front of me. The desk I'm using is the IKEA Carlby walnut countertop sitting on top of two grey Alex drawers. It's a fairly popular combination and one that randomfrankp actually introduced to me in his current setup. I love the dark finish on the Carlby countertop, giving the setup a nice homey feel, and it also doubles as a nice canvas while filming. For cable management, I'm using the well-known IKEA Signum rack with a power board also mounted to the top left with the double-sided tape. It's not perfect, but it definitely keeps everything out of plain sight. I've been using the Acer X34 Predator as my main display for about a year now, and this has doubled very well as both a gaming monitor and also one for content creation. I love gaming in 21:9, and the 100Hz refresh rate with G-Sync makes for a buttery smooth experience. Now, I'm a bit of a sucker for small form factor PC cases, especially ones with little compromise like the Ncase M1. This is the PC powering the entire setup with a delitted 8700K overclocked to 5GHz and a GTX 1080 Ti. This allows me to edit 4K video with ease and also max out the X34 Predator at high to ultra settings. So although it sits quietly towards the right side of my desk, it'll eat up pretty much anything you throw at it, and the full build video is on my channel if you guys want to check that out. The keyboard and mouse are both recent additions, which I have been seriously impressed with. The keyboard is the AN Pro, which is a 60% mechanical wireless keyboard with RGB, but is also relatively affordable at $89. My favorite mouse of all time is the Logitech G703. I love the shape, and just how light it is makes it perfect for first-person shooters where movement and accuracy are critical. And the fact that it's wireless makes it 10 times better. I seriously don't see myself ever replacing this thing. Now, I don't have any amps or preamps for my setup, as I'm using both low power solutions for my headphone and microphone, but I'm still able to get a pretty good sound out of both. The mic you're listening to right now is the Rode NT USB condenser microphone mounted on a shock mount and boom arm, which give me some relatively clean voiceovers, and the headphones I'm using are the Fidelio X2s from Philips, which I've had after about a year, still as comfortable and bassy since when I first got them. Lighting is pretty minimal. I like to keep RGB fairly under control. 2 LifeX bulbs behind my monitor is all I really need to give the setup those nice vibes. And so a huge thanks to randomfrankp for having me on this episode. I hope to see you all over at Optimum Tech if you enjoyed, but for now I'll pass it over to Frank.
This video is sponsored by Corsair and the brand new Corsair Dark Core RGB SE wireless gaming mouse. You pair this with the MM1000 Qi charging mousepad, and you can now have a mousepad that's going to charge your mouse for you, so your battery never dies. And since it has Qi charging, you can even place like your phone down for wireless charging. It's definitely cool. There's 1 millisecond response time, so practically 0 lag when gaming. I already reviewed it, so if you want to check it out, definitely do so. I'll put a link in the description down below. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for episode 122 of Room Tour Project. I hope you enjoyed, and a big shout out to Optimum Tech for showing off his setup on this episode. I will have his channel, as well as all the products and gear you saw in this episode listed in the description down below so you can check it out, as well as some very simple instructions on how to submit your setup if you want to be possibly considered to be on a future episode of Room Tour Project. Just check the links down below for it all. If you liked the episode, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm randomfrankp. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.